Vamos. If you want to start from the scratch and very good foundations, strengths using the rings, you have to start from this position. Today, I'm gonna show you two exercises, supersets, organic strength. So how to use the rings and to do any kind of variations of pull-ups. Most of people that have been asking me about how to start the pull-up with the rings, especially people that starting with this kind of modality of training. Not only you will gain strength and body definition, but also it's a good preparation, good conditioning for any complex movement that you want to try out in rings. Okay, now the first exercise I'm gonna show you here is the rings. I'm gonna show you what kind of level you have to put to set up the rings, so to be able to do this exercise. Okay, so as you see the rings here, they are around my head, my face. Okay, it's important because from this position we're gonna go down into this position. Look, okay, this is important because if you want to start from the scratch and very good foundations, strengths using the rings, you have to start from this position to build up your repetitions, build up your strengths gradually. Then you will be able to lift your body, the whole body, all the way up. So I just talking here for people they want to they're just starting to use the rings in the gym, at home, in the park. Okay, so now that you set up the rings around this level, okay, now when you're going down, you have to be in straight positions. The ring has to be around a little bit wider than your shoulder level. This ring a little bit wider because the branch, there's so many branches between, so it didn't allow me to put a little bit straight. But I just saying that here the ring should be a little bit wider than your shoulders. Okay, so from here you go down straight. Okay, into these positions. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to activate the back into these positions. You are hanging here all the way down, and you activate it. You see how I activated my back. Okay, you see how I activated this part. So once you activate it, then you start activating your core at the same time. Okay, and then you're gonna lift your heels out the ground. You can see my heels is out the ground. Now from this position, I'm gonna pull, but I'm gonna pull to one side, to my right side. I'm gonna also push from my leg, helping me a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna go this way, chins up, and then gradually go slowly down, and then switch to the other side, chins up, and slowly down, and back again to the middle. Always keep the positions straight. Always keep activating your core, your lats, and also keep the heels out. The heels of your feet, your heels should be out of the ground. Okay. So that is the dynamic of this exercise. So now the other thing is, I want to explain you about my wrist. What I doing with my wrist. Okay. What I doing with my hands. Okay. It's another thing as well that I can, that people asking me how I can make it more dynamic. And sometimes they don't focus so much on the wrist and they keep it there. So the exercise seems a little bit too awkward, okay? So now look at my wrist. For example, when I hold it first into this position, I use my hands in this position. When I'm going down, look, my hands are facing to the camera, but now when I pulling, I twist, I turn my wrist inside. Look, the other hand still there, but my wrist is rotating inside. I'm going to the other side. Look, my wrist, my hands is rotating to the inside, and then go slowly down. Okay. So that is some tips I want to give you so you can see the exercise more dynamic. So now, how many repetitions you can do from 5 repetitions to 10 repetitions. Gradually, every week you increase 1 repetitions, and then after 4 or 5 weeks or 8 weeks, then you gradually put the rings up, and then use less help with your legs. So that means using more your bicep, using more your upper body. Eventually, you will be able to do some pull-ups using the same modality in these positions. Go to one side, go into the other side. Okay, go to one side, go into the other side. So eventually you will be able to do lifting your own body weight, maybe doing from 1 to 2 repetitions, but that's the way how you can gain strength. Okay, now if you want to do this position, chin up with the rings is also possible, but this exercise I want to focus on one side, on the other side, to build our strength. Okay, and also get used to it, to the rotation of the wrist as well. Okay, working the wrist, working the forearm, and etc. All right, so why is the second exercise follow up to build up the superset? Now the second exercise is gonna be hanging exercise, and we're gonna use a little bit of a core strength, but also the strength in the hip flexors. Okay, so here the same levels, your range should be the same levels. Then you're going down into this position, activating the lats, put your feet together, and then take your heels out the ground, and then bring your knees up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that can be a little bit basic, but it's really good to get used to it, because then when you want to do some complex movement, then you will see why it's useful these starting exercises. Okay, now if you feel a little bit too down, then you put up a little bit more, rise up the rings a little bit up, so you can challenge yourself. Okay, so what is the next level of this exercise? I show you, if you have a little more experience now, and if you can hang a lot in the rings, then you can do this exercise too. Okay, so the first exercise was bring your hips up or your knee, but the second exercise just extending your legs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and eventually you will see much more definition in your abdominals, working your hip flexors. After these 2 exercises, I recommend to do some stretching for your hip flexor, because it's gonna be too tight for your core too. So now I'm gonna demonstrate the 2 exercises on the row, doing 5 repetitions each, and how it look the dynamic of this superset. Okay, let's go. Exercise number 1. One more. Okay, second exercise, no resting in between. I'm gonna go first of all for the second level, activating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so as you see, it's quite challenging, very challenging, especially for your tendons as well. Okay, make sure you do a really good warm-up before doing this exercise. Now, you notice the first exercise, I was hanging So I was kind of like pulling up, and then I was kind of, when I was going down, I was hanging because I want to challenge myself in that way. So you can do that as well. Okay, if you see that you can easily go up and going down is too easy, you either way rise up the ring up, or you can just, in the way down, you hanging, means take your feet out the ground. So in that way you will feel much more in your biceps. Okay, so guys, that's it. This is the two exercises, the superset, that can work together. As you know, all my organic strength methodology is in base of superset. Why? Because it's much more effective. I find it for myself, for my students, and my clients. It's effective because you only need 1 hour. And sometimes I don't have too much time because I train in clients, students, and only have sometimes 1 hour to do my workout or another practices, martial art practices, so on. So this superset is very convenient if you really don't want too much time. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and keep it strong, and I will see you around.